Hello, everybody. My name is Ken Clark, the editor of Hardware and Building Supply Dealer. And with us today is Tyler Golub. He's in Kansas City. He's the general manager of 84 Lumber's Kansas City operations. We're very happy to have Tyler on our one-on-one interview program. Tyler, can you say hello to our audience?
Yes, hello everybody. So I'm Tyler Golub. I live in Kansas City now. I moved here recently, and I'm running the operations as well as the sales part of 84 Lumber out in the greater Kansas City metro area.
And my understanding is 84 Lumber has been in the Kansas City market since about 2002. How is that going to? How's the 84's presence going to change?
That's correct. Yes, so that was well before I got out here, Ken. But from what I understand, we acquired our locations in the Kansas City market back in 2002 from a larger acquisition. I do currently have 2 locations out here, but one's just not retail. We don't service walk-in or technically builders out of our Kansas City, Missouri location, but we do have a rail spur. We use that to reload our Lenexa location, which is the primary retail yard.
And how are things going to change with your presence there? We've got some new construction. We've got a new facility. When is that going to be online, and what are the goals for you in Kansas City?
Yeah, sure. So we're remodeling the Lenexa location right now. It's not full blown. We're not doing every single thing. We're not redoing buildings, so to speak, but it's going to be a full remodel of our offices. Right now, we're completing phase 1, which would be our dispatch operations, as well as our sales and coordinating offices. Phase 2 is going to be like our conference room, our showroom, the manager office, our AR clerk, commercial sales, as well as expanding, or I guess kind of contracting our showroom so that we can expand our warehouse space. Doing so is going to allow us to service the market a little bit better because we're going to have a little bit more under coverage space for things like specialty product like cedar and hardy. But I think our overall goal is giving us a facelift, making it a more welcome place for everybody to work and show up to, as well as, being able to kind of roll out the red carpet for anybody that wants to come in to visit our operation and kind of vet us out to see if they want to start doing business with us.
Tyler, you were previously in New York, upstate New York, Western New York. Have you noticed any differences between that market and those markets in the East Coast and where you are now in Kansas City?
Yeah, so in the Western and Central New York region where I came from, it seems to be more of a maybe semi-custom home builder market, maybe heavily remodel. They're older towns. They've been around for a very long time. While when you get to Kansas City, it's more expansive. There's a lot more space to build. There's a lot more new construction, which kind of welcomes production builders, tract home builders to a higher extent. There's more volume in that regard. I mean, the materials that we use in both locations too are a little bit different. Like in Rochester, New York, primarily builders were using like hem fir, dry hem fir to frame houses. You go to like Buffalo, one of the unique things about Buffalo was that builders still used a lot of plywood product instead of OSB, as well as they would like to stick frame. They prefer to stick frame their roof systems. And then you come to Kansas City, and it's a green Doug fir market, which was very unique. It's probably one of the few in the country that still use green Doug fir as their primary framing lumber. And the builders out here still like to do stick framing, so I'm familiar with that. That was familiar to me when I came out here. And another unique aspect of the building material market in Kansas City is that LP SmartSide is the primary choice for builders and customers alike out here for their siding product, which is, if you know about the components of the wall, it's a single wall system, which is unheard of up in the Northeast.
There's an old song, everything's up to date in Kansas City. You've probably heard that.
I have.
Talk about hiring. That's got to be an important part of what you're doing now. And how important is that? And how does 84 Lumber go about recruiting?
Sure. Well, yeah, talent starts at the hiring phase. Luckily, I had a lot of experience getting my hands in the recruitment process as an area manager in New York. I attended countless events where we kind of talk to candidates openly about all the positions and what we do and what our culture is. So I'm kind of carrying that over here. In fact, just this week, we had 2 large events that we have members from our, team headquarters recruitment team here participating in. And realistically, all I try to do is get in front of people. I usually put the resume down first on the table. I try not to read it. I try to talk to them and see what it is that's motivating them. Just try to find genuine folk that want to help service our industry, because at the end of the day, I mean, we are a relationship business. We're a relationship company. We're a relationship business. We want to have, people on our side that also kind of have the same values. Does that answer your question?
That answers it very well, Tyler. Tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get into the building supply?
How far back you want me to go? From the beginning?
High school. No, whenever it started to click that you became in the LBM industry.
Well, so I graduated college in 2013. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in criminology. And right after college, I went into juvenile delinquency, drug and alcohol counseling. And I realized very quickly that really wasn't my forte. I didn't really like it that much. So I started looking around, and it just so happened, this was back in 2015, that 84 Lumber was hiring full time. So I applied. I didn't know hardly anything about the building material industry. I don't have any connections. None of my family are like contractors or supply salespeople. But I started working as a manager trainee for 84 full-time in Katanning, Pennsylvania in June of 2015. And I realized very quickly that 84 kind of gives everybody the freedom to just do the right thing, to sell to our customers, to create relationships, and more importantly, to just provide something tangible for somebody. Like if you sell somebody a garage, it's there. You help them, complete their dream or their project or whatever it comes down to. Going into our industry was fulfilling right out the gate. That's kind of where I got that interest from.
That's a common story from people we hear throughout the industry in their roles. It's a great industry, and I know 84 Lumber has done some work encouraging people to enter the trades as well as the 84 Lumber Company in general.
Yeah, that's correct.
As we hit the 2-minute warning, Tyler, what do you think is going to be the key to 84's success in Kansas City? What does it have to do?
I think that goes back to relationships, Ken, honestly. I've spent, in the last 2.5 months since I've gotten out here, I've tried to spend as much of my time as possible, not only getting to know my team, but also reaching out and getting to know our customer base. I mean, primarily we are servicing residential builders. Could be production, could be semi-custom, could be custom home builders. But the key to success is just getting to know them and what drives their business.
Tyler Golub, the General Manager of 84 Lumber in the Kansas City market. Thanks so much for joining us today on our one-on-one interview.
Appreciate it, Ken. Thanks for having me.